I always hoped my father would finally prioritize me until the day came.
He prioritized you and you didn't like it?
Trigger warning, mentions of DV and substances. My father's torch is out. He's been voted off the island because I got better. This is a bit of a long one, as I've known this person my whole life, and I'm 31 now. This is about my father. By the way, this comes from Tats and Cats 25, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And also, folks, this comes directly from our subreddit. And OP says, my father and mother met in their 20s, got married, and had 2 kids. My older brother and me, a daughter in Ontario, Canada. And before I was 1 year old, my father came home one day and asked for a divorce. My brother remembers the troubles they had before this happened. I do not. My father immediately moved in with another lady. Growing up, this other lady became a big part of my life. A second mom, you could say. If I saw my dad, I saw her. She's very family-oriented, so I also got close to her family. Her dad became my papa. Her brothers and sister became my uncles and aunt. Growing up from an infant to a child, I only saw family. Whether or not I understood that they did not share my blood, they were family. My dad was a dad growing up as a child. He was my protector and my role model of what a man should be. He meant everything to me and my brother. When I turned 12, my mom met a man. I mean, she met a few before this one, but none really stuck around. This one, though, stuck. I remember my mom putting us to bed, and he came over for coffee because he knew my mom could not leave the house and was willing to wait until we were in bed. I heard them talking, and as a 12-year-old, I snuck to the top of the stairs to peek down the corner of the landing and made complete eye contact with this strange man. Scruff around his face, just smiling at me. He said, I think someone's awake, and I giggled. From there on out, my stepdad has always seen me. When I was 15, my dad picked my brother and me up and said, we're going to see my nan up north for the weekend. We were excited. We had not seen my nan for a while since she lives 5 hours away. As soon as we got in the car and put on our seatbelts, he said, I have something to tell you guys. Your stepmom and I broke up. He did his best to explain his excuses. My brother and I spent that 5 hours sobbing in the car. He insisted we could still see her, which made us feel a bit better, but we knew everything would change. About 2 months after, we were still adjusting to everything. I still spoke to my stepmom on the phone and saw her a few times, of course, not as much as my dad. He then sat us down and asked us not to see my stepmom anymore. You can't switch it up.
Yeah, how long did he go before he switched up?
Yeah, it was like 2 days. He was like, that's it. All right, you're done.
I'm sick of it.
At this point, our hearts were broken. He was not asking us to just stop seeing some random girl we had been seeing, but a person who had been in my life for as long as I could remember. Not just her, but my papa, my uncles and aunts, and her whole family. Ooh,
Yikes.
that's hard. My brother and I came back to my mom's that weekend in tears and with such fears. My mom, the angel she is, said you could see them on my time. She saw the pain her children were in by losing this family and made sure that we wouldn't. That's a good mom. After about 4 months, my dad said he had a girlfriend, younger than him, maybe 10 years or so. We'd go over and they'd smoke hard in the house and drink. I never noticed my dad's drinking until this girlfriend. He'd have one after work with my stepmom, but he drank day and night with this girlfriend. And so did she. My dad ended up canceling on us a lot, saying he was working. So we would go to my stepmom's or stay at my mom's. About a year after they started living together, and without any notice at all, my dad said, we just got back from Switzerland. We got married.
What?
That's a wild one.
I let him show me pictures and just said, that's beautiful. But to be so blindsided, not even a thought in my dad's new marriage as a 15-year-old, still a child managing to deal with a family I didn't fully understand. My brother and I pulled away at this point. We did not enjoy going over and breathing in smoke. We did not enjoy just staying in a house because they wanted to drink. And we just did not enjoy our father anymore. My mom supported our wants and never made us go if we did not want to. We explained what made us uncomfortable, and my mom understood. My dad and his wife broke up over many DV calls. My dad went to jail for it, and my uncle, his brother, had to bail him out. I did see him during this period. We would just go out for dinner and a movie. I hope that since he was away from her, he might choose us again. He did for a bit. He told us a lot about his current ex, that she didn't like me and my brother because we're not biologically hers and she wanted her own. Why is he telling you that?
Weird thing
Why is
to
he telling you
talk
that?
about all the time.
That's so messed up. Again, I did not point out that he let her do it to the point he did it himself. I smiled and waved, hoping for a better relationship with him. He got a new girlfriend with a young child, which became his priority. Caring about this kid would make her love him. He was a golden dad again. This is when I realized he's never been a good dad. He's been a fake dad. Through all of this, I still spoke to my stepmom, knowing her since I was 1. She never had kids, and I've always been that to her. She has always made me feel like her daughter. I found out that my dad would ask to cancel when he was with her, but she said, nope, it's your weekend with the kids, and I want to see them. Once I heard that, everything fell into place. She still insists he was a great dad. Maybe he was, I believe, because of her. He wanted to impress her, and him being a good dad was everything to her. My brother and I are still everything to her. That's lovely.
Well, you got 2 moms.
Yeah, like, yes, you have a seemingly bad relationship with your dad, but you got something out of
lovely
it.
relationship with this lady.
On my 16th birthday, he texted me, I'm sorry, baby girl, I forgot. Can I take you out next week? I sucked it up and said yes. Next week came and I got a text. I'm sorry, baby girl, I have to work. Next week, I promise. Next week came around, hey, baby girl, I'm sorry, but I have to work. At this point, I had enough. I was getting a full picture of who my dad was, and I was mad. I texted back, go to heck, and he responded, I'll see you there.
Wow.
Dude, you're the one who's like
Wow.
not showing up for anyone, and that's how you're responding to your daughter? Wild. That was my 16th birthday present from my dad. He continued to ask to go out to dinner or get together. Sometimes I would go, sometimes I would not. I'd see him at family Christmas, and he'd always ask to get together. I'd just smile and wave. When I had my son at 23, I decided to give him a chance again. I kept it only in public places, just going for dinner for an hour or so, then going home. He would choose to spend that time talking about my mom, my stepmom, and my brother, and how they all have faults, but he has none. That dinner made me hate him. He has no faults of his own. He does not see the way he treats people. He told my stepmom he was divorced. Before he was divorced, she did not know, and my mom did not know until they became close friends. He took all my mom's money when he left her, cleared the shared bank account, and she had to declare bankruptcy. He didn't just do it to her, he did it to us, my brother and me, living in the house with my mom. He didn't pay child support. His brother, my uncle, helped with groceries and childcare. Of course, good parents do not tell their children these things. I asked the questions, and my mom was willing to give me the answers. Unlike my dad saying to me, I shouldn't be paying your mom child support. It should go to you. It did go to me. A roof over my head, food in the fridge, clothes on my back, and heat to keep me warm. I had a terrible ex myself. He ended up doing shady things in my name, which got us both arrested. After a long 4 years of fighting, I have a clean record and full custody of our son while he is in and out of jail. Well, I'm glad that you have the clean record.
Thank goodness, yeah.
The day I was offered bail, it was my mom and stepdad standing in the courtroom, willing to put their house up for my bail. As soon as I walked out, I saw them standing there. My stepdad right away held up his fist to his heart as a way to say, stay strong. He knew I would break down seeing them. When the judge granted the bail, they took the handcuffs off me, and I walked right to my stepdad. He hugged me so tight and said, you're safe. I have you. Your stepdad seems great. My bio dad was my protector, but this man really made me feel safe in every way. He really showed me what a real father is. He took me to lawyers and courtrooms, was by me through it all, and let me make the choices I needed to get through such a hard time in my life. My bio dad never reached out. Once. When it came to how I was arrested, I didn't know what anyone was thinking about me. I just cared about the ones that did not question me and trusted who I actually am. I went to my nan's a couple of years later. My dad had a new girlfriend. He was there, but I did not ride with him. I came with his brother. At one point, I was in the fridge at my nan's getting a drink for my son. His girlfriend came up to me and said, "We saw you in the paper. We thought you did it."
What a
Huh?
weird thing to say to someone.
Hey, I know you were like falsely accused of that crime. We thought you did it.
We believe that you actually could be that person. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Why are you telling me this? Why are you even talking?
Why are you even talking to me right now?
That was the only response I got to my whole arrested situation from my dad, his girlfriend, saying they thought I did it. By the way, I think that you guys can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Your dad sucks, but A
Yeah.
plus mom, A plus stepdad, A plus stepmom. Like, I'm glad that you have some people that are there for you
Totally agree.
and stuff, and that you have full custody.
I ended all ties here. I changed my number, not just because of my bio dad, but also my ex-boyfriend. And I never gave my bio dad my new number. I deleted him off all socials and do not speak to him. Last I heard, he moved to Florida with his girlfriend and her family. He's been arrested for more DV, which he's on a bail website for, and has been arrested for trafficking substances. Well, bio dad, if I have anything to say to you, it's that I know you did it. My ending is happy because I have 5 Christmases to celebrate, while my bio dad has none. I still have everyone I want in my life, while he has none. I hope he enjoys Florida because Ontario, Canada is doing great without him. I do not wish any ill on him, but I cannot say I care to be at his bail hearing. And there it is.
Good for you,
Good
OP.
for
It
you.
shows growth. Like,
Absolutely.
you're doing great.
Yeah.
You're growing and learning, and he's stuck in his terrible ways.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you don't have to wish him any ill because he's already doing it for himself.
Yeah.
He's doing it all that himself. You don't need that type of person in your life.
He's got his own issues. You're fine.
I went above the limit on my sister's gift. She still tried to manipulate me.
Give me more.
My sister and her family live in another state across the country. Our family trades names so that we do not have to spend as much money since we're a big family. By the way, this comes from Sassy Pants Me, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly,
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I got my sister's family and sent her a game she has on her wish list for several months, along with some expansion packs. I went a bit above the family spending limit, but I was feeling generous. Because she lives so far away, I had it shipped directly to her home. Apparently, her kids got too excited, and she just couldn't make them wait. They were thrilled when they saw the game, which is great. At least my sister said thank you. The next day, however, she called me to ask for another gift. She was worried that when we do the family Zoom on Christmas Eve, her family would feel left out since they would have no gift to open. When I said I could not afford another gift, she started crying.
Oh my God.
She told me I should be the one to tell the kids why they would not have a gift to open.
Yes, this is what you go. You go to them. You go, hey kids, you're not gonna have any gifts to open on Christmas. And they're gonna be like, what? Because you already opened yours.
Because your mom refused to make you wait
Yeah.
to open it.
You already opened it. That's why you have no gift.
I reminded her that I'm a teacher and I have my own family to care for. I told her she needs to be more responsible, buy another gift, and or teach her children to be patient. She hung up on me. Next time they will get an e-gift card. We have an update. I was telling my husband some of your suggestions. He now wants to buy them an advent calendar to help them understand when Christmas is.
That's
That's
funny.
great.
And they get to open little presents.
Yeah,
I
every
love.
day.
You know
A
what?
little
I need to
chocolate
start
every
getting
day.
more advent calendars because I love them.
Do not worry, we're not actually going to do it. We have another update. Yes, I know the gift could be rewrapped. I'm not concerned about whether the kids will have a gift to open. I can easily remind them of the game if they seem disappointed at the party. My sister is an entitled brat and was likely fishing for another gift. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I believe she was the impatient one who wanted to open the gift and see if she could get another present from me. The kids are usually well behaved around more mature people who hold them accountable. Here's some comments. Comment 1. She's the parent. It's her job to teach her kids the consequences. They opened it early. That's on them. Opie says what makes it even worse is that her kids are mostly tweens to older teenagers. It's not like they're toddlers that don't understand the concept of waiting. Commenter 2, she just wanted another present because she's so special. Has she always been like this? Opie says she can be very selfless and generous at times, but the entitlement has always been there in various forms. When we were teenagers, she had really long nails. She would use them to scratch anyone who tried to serve themselves at dinner before her.
Sounds terrifying.
So she'd get first pick or the biggest servings, etc. Or when she babysat, she'd have us hide because we were playing hide and seek. Then she just wouldn't look for us and would watch TV. In reality, she just didn't want to be bothered with taking care of us. Comment 3, her kids didn't even know it had been received, so that's on her. And if her teens don't know how to wait, have that level of entitled and can't understand that they already opened their gift, I'd rather not have them in my social circle. Opie says they know how to wait when asked. When I've had them over, they're always respectful, but that may be because I expect them to be. I have a feeling she just wanted to see their faces because she knows I always try to get something I know they'll be excited about. I think she couldn't wait, to be honest. OP gives examples of when her sister was selfless. Okay, when I was getting a divorce and at the risk of being homeless, she gave me and my kids a place to live, took care of my kids while I looked for work, and continued taking care of them when I found a job.
Okay, so she can be nice.
She can be nice.
Cool.
She didn't charge me rent, daycare, etc. I lived with her for several months, not just a couple weeks. She's actually generous and selfless at times for the people she loves. She is selfless and generous for praise for people she cares about, since she's a good Christian. I have nothing against Christians, she just doesn't practice what she preaches. OP on her family's background. OP says, my family was very dysfunctional. My mom has bipolar disorder, so there was a lot of unusual things happening at home. And my dad did the best he could, given a crazy wife and 6 kids. Mom wasn't exactly sane, and Dad worked 2 jobs. OP explains how her families draw entire families' names for Christmas if her sister is not in the same state. OP says, my sister's the only one multiple states away, so we gather at my mom's house, and the Zoom call is mostly my sister and brother-in-law watching everyone else open gifts. Her kids only participate to say hello and open their gifts or socialize for a few minutes. As for getting to one family, I have 5 siblings with spouses, so 12 adults total. There are over 30 grandkids. My sister alone has 8 kids. Trying to get a gift for everyone breaks the bank. Having one family makes it so we can gift quality gifts without spending thousands of dollars. It doesn't have to be only one gift. That's just what I chose to do since she has 8 kids and her own grandkids in addition to that. And terraforming Mars can be enjoyed by their whole family. We have an update 6 days later. I'm so glad we got the game.
This is not like a situation that you're going to be like cutting off your sister for.
Right, yeah.
But it is just a thing where you put down the, the rules.
Right. And you're like, girly pop, I gave you a cool gift. You guys like it so much, you've been playing it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. Not getting anything else.
We had our family Christmas party yesterday. I was actually surprised because my sister thanked me for sending a new gift. This didn't make sense to me because I didn't send anything new and it wouldn't have arrived in time if I did. But they opened the gift and it was an advent calendar with a note that said, next year you can count how many days before opening your gifts. Love, Dad. And you guys can count over 90 days of listening to more episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up Storytime. Dad coming in clutch here, though.
Was this, whose dad is this? Is this brother-in-law?
Oh, I
or
think
is
this is
OP's
OP
dad?
and sister's dad.
OP sister's dad or OP sister's husband?
That's what I'm saying. I don't
I
know.
think it's brother-in-law.
We're gonna get the.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We're about to get that.
Okay.
But honestly, hilarious that
It's
someone
great.
did it.
I love that. Iconic.
Full circle.
Turns out my brother-in-law was mad at my sister and bought the advent calendar. He apologized to me for my sister's behavior right there on the Zoom call. My sister yelled at him at how he had just embarrassed her and ran off somewhere. Bonus to the story, my nieces and nephews thought the calendar was funny. And after everyone finished with presents, they spent the next 10-ish minutes planning their next visit so we can play Terraforming Mars together. We have some relevant comments. Commenter 1, haha, that was perfect and very satisfying. OP says, it sure was. I loved that he secretly bought the gift and pretended it was from me. That was the chef's kiss. He's my favorite. Commenter 2, that advent calendar was a masterclass in peaceful petty. Dad and brother-in-law handled everything perfectly. OP says dad and brother-in-law are same person. Okay. He wrote the note to the kids as a way of putting my sister in her place without calling attention to the fact that he knew it was her. My father passed away 7 years ago. Commenter 3, that was awesome of your brother-in-law. How did he find out about the suggestion you mentioned in the update to your previous post? OP says he and my husband talked at some point. My husband didn't tell me they talked until earlier today when I was talking about posting an update. Commenter 4 says, and sister still hasn't learned her lesson, yelling at husband for embarrassing her? Someone smacked the woman upside the head with the advent calendar. OP says she's 50. I doubt she'll ever learn. Commenter 5 says, turns out your brother-in-law is the MVP of the story. OP says he's hilarious and is probably the main reason any of my nieces and nephews are sane. That's the end of that story.
Yeah, I think that all worked out. It seems like your nieces and nephews were copacetic.
Yeah.
And your brother-in-law is a funny guy.
Sounds like everyone got a little tee-hee-hee.
Yeah, a little. And your sister-in-law got what she deserved.
Yeah. And next year, they'll count down the days.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
You
not
should start
open up.
yearly advent calendars for them, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea.
My cousin demanded I shave my beard for his wedding, and I don't want to.
I ain't shaving my beard for no one.
I, a 30-year-old male, was asked a few days ago to be in my cousin's wedding party as one of his groomsmen for his wedding in April. I was excited to be asked, as I have never been part of a wedding procession prior to this. And by the way, this comes from user Chicken Oddball. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know the things we know. So let us know the things you know that we don't in the comments. And OP says, my family is Mormon, though I am not. And it is widely known in my family that I am no longer a part of the church or many of its traditions. In some ways, I feel that my personal choice to leave the Mormon church is reason enough for my family members not to ask me to be a groomsman, best man, or anything similar. My sister barely had me in her wedding for that reason, but I will provide more details on that later. He called me on the phone to ask if I'd be willing to be a groomsman, and I immediately said yes. Like I said, I was excited. He's one of my closest extended family members along with his sister, as we grew up in close proximity to each other. After he asked me, he shared details about the wedding, our mutual friend and best man's bachelor party ideas, suit and tie colors, and other minor details. Nothing too crazy. Until he snuck in this sentence at the end. Oh, and all the groomsmen are to be clean-shaven. Everyone else has agreed to shave for the wedding already, so you're the last one I need to tell. I went silent. My body went cold and my face got hot. I didn't know what to say. I'm 6 foot, a little chubby, with a long, full brown beard that I have kept up for nearly a decade. I spend upwards of $600 a year just on my beard upkeep. What on earth
Well, okay, so like
are we talking
Are you
about?
part of
okay, we're
ZZ
talking
Top?
about, we're
I want to
talking
see this
about
beard.
like, let's say products. So I'm thinking like a curly hair product routine or something.
beard
Keon,
oil.
do you use like a lot of products for your hair?
Yeah, a couple.
Okay, so like
yeah.
roughly how much are the products you use for your hair like a month?
Oh, no. Usually it lasts long enough to be like a couple months, but I would say I would spend about $50 on these said products, so it would probably last me at least a couple months.
So it's like you're spending like 200 max a year, or no, maybe like 300 max a year? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say around that. Depending if
Okay.
I keep my hair long. If I cut it, probably not. I don't need a hair product if I cut my hair.
Yeah. And then I don't know if he's cutting his beard. I'm assuming he's cutting his beard himself, so we're not talking about like that. So maybe he just has really expensive products for his beard.
I'm
No, there's
imagining
beard
he goes
oil.
to like a
Yeah.
There's
salon.
Like beard oil, what makes sense.
Beard
like,
oil and
steam
like
it.
keeping it clean
That
and
sounds
like
really
trimming
nice.
They
it.
put little cucumbers on it,
That does sound really nice.
and they like
Yeah.
whisper to it. They're like, "You're a good beard. You're a really
So
good
$600 is on the more expensive side, but it does make sense if you're like doing a lot of care for it.
I go to a barber who knows how to cut beards and keep it nicely structured and lined up. I don't want to say that I care more about my beard upkeep than the rest of my body, as I am an extremely hygienic person, but it is pretty dang close. I've kept it at about 7 inches for the last 6 months. I don't think I can shave my beard for your wedding, Daniel. After about 20 seconds, he said, but I already told the other guys to shave, and they said they would. I started to get upset because with what he was telling me, not only did he know this would be a big deal for me, but them saying yes already felt like I was being pressured to shave or else I would not be part of the wedding. The last thing he said before he hung up was, I strongly urge you to reconsider this, otherwise I'll have to rethink the number of groomsmen. I've been struggling with this because I'm so shocked that I was given this sort of ultimatum. The wedding is in a few months, so maybe he'll reconsider? I'm really hurt. I don't think I'll have another chance to be in another wedding party because my other cousins aren't as close to me or are already married. I was barely part of my sister's wedding. She was upset, and so were my parents, that I decided to leave a church that had emotionally mistreated me for over 2 decades. I was devout, wore my temple garments, and did everything I was supposed to do. When I decided to leave the Mormon church, my parents and sister saw it as a personal attack on them because I wouldn't choose family and keep my covenants that I made with God. This caused a substantial rift, and it was close enough to my sister's wedding that she wrote me out of her wedding party and the toasts, and I was supposed to sing with her and her husband at the reception. Being a part of this wedding with my cousin feels like one of the only times that I can be a part of any weddings in my family, but I don't think it's fair to be asked to do something so drastic to my body. Am I the a-hole for standing my ground and not shaving my beard? No.
No, you're not
No.
the a-hole. Not at all.
We have comments. Comment 1. Not the a-hole, but you should respectfully drop from the party and attend as a guest. Those are the groom's wishes, and even if they are not reasonable to you or to Reddit, it is his wedding, and you shouldn't cause a fight and create more drama for him on his big day. It sounds like your cousin's wedding is a redo of your sister's one in your mind, but that's not the case. Also, I got an impression that the core issue is not the wedding, but that you crave more connection to your family. I would suggest to rather tackle this one and get overworked about being in the wedding party. Reply says, OP isn't the one creating the drama, the groom is. F this mindset that everyone has to bow to every whim of the bride and groom on their big day. What if the bride asked all the bridesmaids to shave their heads?
Then the bridesmaids say, no, I don't want to be your bridesmaid.
Comment 2. It is honestly weird why people can even feel entitled to ask somebody to change their body and appearance for a wedding. Dress code is one thing, but shaving your head or beard or changing the color of your hair or covering tattoos or losing or gaining weight, this type of demand is completely ridiculous. Not the a-hole. Comment 3 says, not the a-hole, but my suspicion is that this is actually an attempt to draw you back into the church. At least get you groomed appropriately, not to mention testing whether you'll submit to their demands in the name of family unity, and participating in a family event. And then maybe they can make further inroads to get you back. And we do have an update.
Oh, boy.
I appreciate every single one of you for responding. It meant a lot to see your comments and opinions. I meant to reply to some of you to explain my relationship with my family a little better, and with the Mormon church, but I forgore. I've been stressed at work, and I'm in the middle of moving my girlfriend into my apartment. Don't tell my family, or else they'll say I'm going to spooky Mormon. My parents and sister are devout Mormons. When you get married in the Mormon church, you have a private ceremony with full-fledged church members only, and a reception afterward. The reception is the larger affair for the whole family. Anyone who has been in or close to churchgoers may understand this. I was disallowed from participating, besides a couple of photos during the reception part of my sister's wedding. I felt it was a public display of my family's contempt for my choice to distance myself from the church. I am in contact with them and have dinner or holidays occasionally, but we're on rocky ground after this whole debacle. Daniel and his fiancée Tanya are active members. Daniel and I have been very close from early childhood and have many mutual friends because of this. A lot of my hurt and confusion comes from this, and I neglected to mention it before. My invitation to their wedding party as a groomsman includes helping plan the bachelor party, buying things to decorate their wedding car, and delivering a toast, as an open mic would take too long. This is more than what I was allowed to do at my sister's wedding. On to the update regarding my current dilemma. My cousin Daniel called me again. He had discussed my beard with his fiancée and his parents during dinner over the last weekend. The consensus was that he was being unreasonable, and if I keep myself presentable with a nice trim, I should be able to keep my beard for the wedding. Well, would you look at that?
Well, it seems like there was another way.
If that isn't a twist, if I've ever seen
There's
one.
always a third door.
In my mind, I had thought that she pressured him to ask the groomsman to shave because not only did I not know her well, I thought I knew my cousin well enough to be a reasonable person. I had met her once at a movie night with him and some mutual friends. I thought she was a very lovely person and a great match for Daniel. Besides that, I hardly knew her. After a long talk, I took some advice from a couple of you and offered not to take part in the wedding and reception. I genuinely would be uncomfortable if I upset anyone at their own wedding. He declined my offer and told me that having me as a groomsman was more important than me shaving my beard.
Well, there you go.
And by the way, you never have to shave your beard or any other part of your body. To listen to full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever, just search OK Storytime and you're in. He admitted that he was worried that I would keep it scraggly and unkempt, which I suppose is understandable. I ultimately assumed this was the cause for concern. I let it grow for weeks at a time sometimes if I'm not going anywhere fancy. But I remember getting it cut and seeing him and our friends shortly after a couple of times. I had more questions, but ultimately I felt relieved and did not want to poke holes to get more answers as to why I needed to shave in the first place. I feel the issue is resolved. With a trim, I will be a bearded groomsman for my cousin's wedding. I don't plan on updating, so I'd like to say again, thank you to those who commented. It meant a lot that you were kind enough to offer an opinion when I felt I was at a crossroads with all the issues I have with my family already. And that is the end of that story.
Heck yeah, lovely.
Thankful little guy.
Yeah.
With a big old beard.
I love how it ended. All's well that ends well.